Well, it just told us recording is in progress. Patriarchy show. Ian Erickson, myself, Pat Dixon. Hunter Biden's laptop suddenly is real.
Yep.
And the thing is, we knew this forever. And not only that, but I got a couple points to make about this.
There's been a big change in tune on the Hunter Biden laptop story. Remember how the media dismissed it?
Hunter Biden, this laptop that intelligence officials have warned is likely Russian disinformation.
I get pretty fired up about how this works because, look, I mean, if the New York Post tells you your mom loves you, you should check it out. We are not talking about fully reliable sources here.
It feels like a repeat from last cycle. It's the, but her emails again, and it's kind of ridiculous. Featuring all the usual suspects. Hunter Biden, mysterious emails, Ukrainian businessmen, ...
But now, more than a year later, it turns out the laptop and at least some of its contents are in fact real. The New York Times confirming their authenticity in a report that focused on the investigation into Hunter's taxes and international business dealings. The key line coming deep into the story, of course. The Times writing, quote, emails were obtained by the New York Times from a cache of files that appears to have come from a laptop abandoned by Mr. Biden in a Delaware repair shop. Plot twist! The White House is now ducking questions about its past denials.
The New York Times has authenticated emails that appear to have come from a laptop abandoned by Hunter Biden in Delaware. The president previously said that the New York Post story about this was a bunch of garbage and that it was a Russian plant. Does he stand by that assessment?
I've pointed to the Department of Justice and also to Hunter Biden's representatives. He doesn't work in the government. Again, I'd point to the Department of Justice and Hunter Biden's representatives. I'm a spokesperson for the United States. He doesn't work for the United States.
Tommy Lahren, the only thing I'm feeling more than satisfaction is frustration that shouldn't this have happened a year ago, and will there still be any accountability? I don't know. I'm not holding my breath.
Give me a break. You know, like those answers are big non-answers, first of all, from her. And their criticism of the New York Post is unfounded. You know, they might be sensational on tabloid stuff.
Oh, yeah,
but I
absolutely.
mean, they have real news coverage. It's the oldest newspaper in the fucking United States.
Right. You have to respect it. I mean, but even the Post does have its issues. Like, for example, I saw an article, I think today, where it says Russian model critical of Russian government found dead, and had a picture of Vladimir Putin right next to her, and a picture of her. So what are you led to believe? That Putin had her killed, right?
Of course.
Now you read the article and you go down a little bit. Her boyfriend confessed, or her ex-boyfriend confessed.
Oh, so she was killed.
So
by
she was killed by her
It's
ex-boyfriend.
completely
Yeah,
unrelated.
had nothing to do with the
was
other
her
one.
ex-boyfriend Putin by any chance?
Yeah. No,
You know,
I don't know, some Russian guy.
You're right. They do shit like that, and they have gotten more liberal too.
Yeah.
And there you go. There's an example. You know, I mean, they're going to try to sell the sizzle on stuff. I get it, but it's irresponsible to do it when it comes to. I mean, like I don't know. Like I don't have any problem with it if it's you remember like those conjoined twins or some shit like that. You know, like what's up with them? But I just think moving away from the Post though. What do you think of Psaki's answer? You know, he doesn't work for the government.
Yeah, he doesn't work for the government.
Talk to his representatives.
But what was in the emails had to do with money laundering or money payments or that involved Joe Biden, who is the president, who does work for the U.S. government.
Yeah, it's not as if any president has been exempt from answering questions about their administration doesn't have to answer questions about their family. And not only that, but it is, like you said, it is related to the government and what I just said. And they had denials of it before. Why weren't we talking? Why didn't you send us to Hunter Biden's representatives then?
When you were saying it was Russian disinformation and all sorts of wacky shit.
The question is not about Hunter Biden. It's about you. Do you stand by your statement?
Yeah. And do you work for the government, Jen Psaki? I think you do.
Okay. So there's that. And then, so I don't, the way she answered is like, pro, you know, the way they do. I am mad. Oh, sorry about that. I'm mad.
No, slide right off.
Oh,
Question,
oh, okay. I thought it was the smoke.
No.
I'm mad because it's been 100% clear for a long time that it was real.
Right.
So, and I understand that this is finally the media is coming around, and that's the story. But I'm not comfortable with the New York Times being the one that got this FOIA request. I mean, like, they're not going to release the most damaging things.
Sure.
They're going to soft pedal it. As it looks like it. They have a cache of documents that appear to be, they verifiably are,
Right, and they'll have it like on page 43 in the bottom left-hand corner.
Even if it's on the front page, it's the use of language appears to be.
Appears to be.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they said if you look at the headline on that it shows from the Times, it says I think and that they read, and these Fox people too. They're not really giving it their all here, in my opinion. I mean, they're kind of laughing their way through it. It's okay. So it says here, and I'll read it for you. Hunter Biden paid tax bill, but broad federal investigation continues. Emails were obtained by the New York Times from a cache of files. This is from the Times, by the way. Emails were obtained by the New York Times from a cache of files that appear to have come from a laptop abandoned by Mr. Biden.
So they're still.
And there's no question about it.
Yeah.
It was through a Freedom of Information request. At what point do you say they are?
Yeah, it's not appear. They definitely
to
have come from the laptop.
And what are they? Isn't it the content? Why is the story that the emails appear that have been obtained that come from? I mean, okay, great. What's in them?
Yeah, we want to know what Give us.
And the spark in the story is there. What was done? What was said? Who does it implicate? What's it about? Emails were obtained that appear to have come from the laptop. I mean, that's 3 steps off of telling any story. So that's my problem with the Times having it, and they're not going to discuss.
Oh yeah, they're not releasing
anything
the juicy
damaging
stuff. They're not gonna put their little spin on it.
And I just don't trust that newspaper, and for obvious reasons. But that's my take on it. Is that it's the next best thing to the government not releasing them.
Right.
For them.
The New York Times pretty much is a wing of the Democratic Party, and by extension Joe Biden. So they're not gonna be like you said, like appears. They're not gonna really full throttle, release this information. They're
We
just
got a
gonna
cache
beat around
of
the bush.
emails.
Yeah, cache.
A cache of emails.
Cache could be 50,000.
Cache is like exactly.
2.
A cache is the most. It's not even a sexy word, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's a word that it doesn't get you interested in the story. A cache of emails.
Cache of emails.
Is like kind of
They know exactly. And
very nonspecific.
They know the exact number of emails.
Yeah.
They know the exact number.
They know
of emails,
exactly how many they obtained. Yeah.
That's why,
35,000, 1,000, like you said, 30,000.
Yeah.
It could be any number.
I think that's
A
what
cache.
we really do well on this show is really pick apart the minutia of what the media says or is covering, and it just unravels the bigger narrative.
Well, yeah,
what they're trying to
and
promote.
Fox playing along with it.
Yep.
They can see this. They should be able to see this. If I can see this, if I can see that, now I haven't read that story, but even if there is anything in there, it's going to be, obscured in a similar way,
Right.
just like the headline obscures like what's actually true. Say they found 30,000 emails, and it takes us a while to go through. I'm pretty sure there's a story in that first fucking email.
Yeah.
First 10 emails, you got a story. Yeah, something, This Joe Biden implicated in,
You can open
who's
up
the big guy, right? Wasn't he referenced in that?
You can open up your emails right now and tell exactly how many emails are on your Gmail account.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Why can't they do the same thing? You're in the New York freaking Times.
Yeah, they want you to know. And they obtained everything that pertained to a certain whatever,
Right.
But I'm sure it's all spelled out. And not only the number of them, but what is in them. That's what should be, because you just go through then and go, everything you find is a new story.
Right.
It's not one story. Well, we obtained a cache of emails
The
that
emails
appear to have come from a laptop that he left. Not his laptop, but he left it.
Yeah.
A laptop that he left.
Might
We
not
don't
have
even
been
know it was
his.
his. No, it's Hunter Biden's laptop. You have how many emails? What's in them? And they're not doing anything.
When's the last time you've asked somebody else to bring your car to the repair shop? It doesn't
Right.
happen.
Or, yeah.
You bring your own car to the repair shop.
Yeah, he's just dropping off a computer for. I don't know who that was. I was just asked to. A strange man asked me to drop off. Did you pack your own suitcase? Well, it depends.
Yeah,
What'd
right.
you find? So that's that. And now this is another. This is a shocker. In a way not. I guess Fauci
He'll never
warns
die.
Americans. He's always warning of things. He warns Americans could face more lockdowns amid the spread of the new variant. Okay, so let's see what they're saying.
When a person like Dr. Fauci controls $5 billion worth of money, it's not good that we have a really petty tyrant who wants to take down the people he just...
I'll have $5 billion worth of money.
Oh, yeah?
That's what he just said, $5 billion worth of money. I mean, is that really necessary, the of money?
Dr. Fauci controls $5 billion worth of money. It's not good that we have a really petty tyrant who wants to take down the people he disagrees with, and that's not conducive to scientific inquiry. So it's long past time that we remove him from government, and I think really the power should be split up into 3 different positions, and then one person wouldn't have a monopoly of so much power that they could use against their enemies.
That didn't say anything like what he was talking about, what the headline says. Okay, well, moving on. Right. Dr. Anthony Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, warned Americans this week they could soon face additional COVID-19 lockdown measures. Really, should a new strain of the virus cause case numbers to increase? Just to increase. They don't need to be wild.
Right.
Just to increase. If they increase, we need a lockdown. Fauci, who also serves as an advisor to President Biden, said the BA2 subvariant. Oh, there's a new subvariant.
Oh, great. Need more of those.
It's not even a variant. It's a
subvariant.
Now it's a subvariant. Is that new? I don't remember subvariant being said before. It could soon increase the rate of infections in America. He suggested that Americans should, quote, be able to pivot back and forth between a more common way of life. He's like, don't lose sight
using basketball
of this
terminology.
whole thing. Okay, don't start thinking that we don't have this power anymore. We need you to know that we can put you in your house and close your business anytime, and you need to be very flexible on this, between a more common way of life and the measures that were taken in an attempt to slow the spread of the virus at the height of the pandemic, which we've all agreed doesn't work. So why would you do it again?
The studies came out.
The lockdown is incredibly damaging
to everybody, especially children.
Especially kids. And especially, the working poor. If there is a middle class anymore, it would be...
Well, now they're going to lock them down, and you can't go anywhere because gas is $4.30 a gallon. And in the city, it's even more. It's like $4.75.
It's over $5. I've seen it over $5. There's no escape. There's no escape. You can't drive away. Yeah, your electric car, forget it.
Yeah, no, they can. I heard a story of a repo man trying to repo a Tesla, and the repo man contacted Tesla, and Tesla basically unlocked the car and gave him access to the car, so he could repo it.
Thanks, Tesla.
And they could do that so now you have an electric vehicle, and they could just fuck around with you, I guess.
Well, yeah, they can shut it off remotely.
Yeah, didn't make your payment? Brrr.
Yeah, or did make your payment? Brrr. We didn't get it.
Right.
Yeah, the days of being able to fucking bullshit a fucking bank, I guess. Is what
you can't send the wrong check to the wrong company just to buy an extra week. Like sending a...
To save face, really.
Yeah, sending the gas bill check to the electric company.
Oh, we understood what you meant, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Just making sure.
If, in fact, we do see a turnaround and a resurgence, we have to be able to pivot and go back to any degree of mitigation that is commensurate with the situation, to what the situation is, Fauci said during an interview with, we can't just say, we're done, we're going to move on. We've got to be able to be flexible. That was the word I used. We've got to be flexible because we're dealing with a dynamic situation. The nerve, the fucking gall.
Right.
Did I ask you to hand me a Red Bull last time we did this?
I don't know, but I don't care.
Would you mind?
No,
I'm totally empty.
I don't care.
God, and I'm gonna just sit here. Wait, that's okay. Yeah, it's fine. Put it there. There's not gonna be any feedback. Whoop. Ian handing me a beverage out of the fucking. There's a machine over here that keeps everything cold. Ah, yes. This is. I have to drink constantly. I don't know. It's like a problem. Look at these fucking things. Have a seat, Ian. Let's talk about Fauci. We can't just say we're done. We're going to move on. We got to be able to be flexible and all that stuff because we're dealing with a dynamic situation. How dynamic do you think the COVID situation is?
It's not. I had COVID for 2 weeks, and it was a mild flu. I had a little bit of a temperature. I mean, I don't understand how this is any different than a new flu strain, and adjusting the flu shot to stop that strain.
It doesn't feel dynamic.
It's not dynamic. It seems it's just like a dud.
Yeah.
A terrible, terrible. It's the worst plague. It got a lot of promotion, but it's the worst plague of all time, I think.
He says the
Worst
overall mortality is actually down. The overall mortality is actually down. It's a very interesting situation where the cases are going up, but it does not, at this point in time, appear to be any degree of severity. It doesn't. It does not, at this point in time, appear to be any degree of severity. That's really
Wait, the severity being that the overall mortality rate is down?
Well,
or
it's
the
weird how he
severity of
said it, isn't
yeah,
it? There doesn't
understand.
appear to be any severity. It does not appear to be any degree of severity. Very interesting time. The cases are going up, but it does not appear to be any degree of severity. So cases are going up, and it's weird. People aren't dropping dead.
Yeah,
Of
that's a
this
good thing.
Why? Be ready if they do.
Yeah, I'm gonna get COVID again.
And
I'll
he
get
says,
a subvariant.
And it's weird because at the start, didn't they say if case numbers rise? If case numbers rise,
Yeah.
Didn't they decide that case numbers doesn't have shit to do with shit anymore?
I thought that was
That we
decided months ago.
Yeah, when we were doing that, we didn't know shit about fuck, and now we. I don't get it. I mean, I do get it. I get it. It's just, it's. I don't get how anybody still listens to this shit. I mean, it's. At this point, people are out of the masks.
Yeah, no more masks.
I'm
Masks are done.
seeing it even in the subways, fewer masks, and that's saying something. Because up until a month ago,
Right.
3 weeks ago, maybe even less, I was the only one on the train without a mask. Never had a fucking problem with it. I only got yelled at by one crazy lady.
Yeah.
And
was funny.
it was because I was with this, girl. I think it's she wouldn't yell at just a dude, I don't think. Oh, you guys are crazy.
Not wearing a mask.
Wow. She was literally doing, "You crazy."
And while she's yelling at you, calling you crazy.
Fauci said he, quote, would not be surprised in the next few weeks given the fact that we've begun to open up, and we've begun to open up.
Just the
And we have an increase in the BA2 variant that we'll all be seeing an increase in cases. During the segment, Fauci seemingly dismissed concern over the crippling economic burdens associated with lockdown measures or other precautions.
Of course.
When did he ever seem concerned?
He never was
I'm concerned about. I'm not an economist. That was his out for that. A Johns Hopkins University meta-analysis of several studies in February found that lockdowns during the first COVID-19 wave only reduced COVID-19 mortality by 0.2% in the U.S. and Europe.
That little bit.
But we're talking about a lot of cases. It is a significant number of lives.
Yeah. And I think that amount would be mitigated by the fact that there's
The
that
extreme
many
overcount.
suicides
Yeah.
and the depression and all that shit that it caused. People
Yeah.
losing their businesses and
Hey,
jumping off a building.
If you want to bring the mortality rate down, stop counting those motherfuckers.
Yeah.
While this meta-analysis concludes that lockdowns have had little to no public health effects, this is in quotes, so this is what the researchers wrote. The researchers said that while this meta-analysis concludes that lockdowns had little to no public health effects, they have imposed enormous economic and social costs where they have been adopted. The researchers wrote, in consequence, lockdown policies are ill-founded and should be rejected as a pandemic policy instrument. A study... go ahead.
But did we really need a study to tell us what we already knew? Like, you knew it. It was all bullshit. I knew it was all bullshit. Most, if not all, of the viewers knew it was all bullshit just by living life, It's like, okay, yeah, I know this is bullshit. I don't care about studies. And if you give me a conflicting study, I'll just say I made up my own study.
Well,
because it's bullshit.
Well, that's the thing, though. I mean, in trying to, I don't know who it's written for, really. I mean, it's written for somebody who's not aware of it, I guess. But it doesn't hurt to have the study there, I mean, Johns Hopkins, they by all means
do
release
the
all
study.
the studies that you want.
But we knew.
This is a meta-analysis. Yeah, we knew.
2 years
I get
ago.
it. We knew. Everybody knew. But try to convince somebody. Like, do you have any empirical evidence of that? Do you have?
I don't
Do you have
talk to those
any
people.
proof of that?
I don't interact with those people.
Yeah, I know.
I tell them to Google. I'm not your Google.
They're there.
I am not your personal Google.
Right.
I will.
But
that's it.
but instead of the answer being no, you can say the answer is yes.
I just like to say I made it all up.
Are you aware of the John? You're just being difficult.
Yes.
So there have
Absolutely.
been a study from the National Commission on COVID-19 and Criminal Justice last year found that domestic violence incidents increased 8.1% in the U.S. Did you know that?
Those bitches be talking. They won't shut up.
Well, I mean, it doesn't say they're all men to women.
Oh, that's true.
I think it's probably a lot of both.
I mean, a lot of lesbians.
A lot of women who like to throw shit at men.
Yeah.
A lot of women like to cut their throats, cut their dicks off. They do stuff. Women are violent. Get real.
Yeah.
That was after lockdown orders were issued, and they're also and you know what? Kids getting beaten up too.
Yeah, that counts as domestic violence.
Yep.
Sure.
Also been additional medical, and also a lot of people. Sorry, a lot of people moved in with each other. They shouldn't have. It's true.
Yeah,
They did.
I heard a few of those stories.
No, for real. I mean, and violence erupts. I mean, like, there's even like, I know that it's big enough to where like there's like ads for storage facilities and stuff, and they're like, so your COVID-19 lockdown buddy didn't work out.
Yeah.
Awkward. Here's how to find a new place or a storage facility.
Sure.
Also, been additional medical concerns over the impacts of lockdown measures. Of course. The New England Journal of Medicine. You don't want to hear about studies. I'm sorry.
I
Forget
hate
it.
studies.
Yeah, I know.
Did
Studies.
you study? Did you see the study that proves studies
I know.
aren't as accurate as other
I know.
studies?
You said it
And then
before. But the point is, there is empirical evidence there, and
Yeah.
without that, just knowing is not enough. Sorry, Ian. It's a
No.
fact.
I just
but
know from
they report
experience.
these fucking studies and shit like that. I get it. You hate studies.
I hate being gaslit. Is what I do. I really.
I know,
don't
but
like
they're
it.
telling the truth.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
2 years later,
Right. Well, I mean, trust me.
the news has abused me so much.
Better
I
late
don't
than
care.
never. If they're contradicting fucking Fauci, it's not a bad thing in my opinion. Now, this is about what do you call it? Yeah. Why don't you take the lead on what this is about? Go ahead.
The United States and its allies on Friday accused Russia of using the UN Security Council to attempt to launder disinformation and conspiracy theories as Moscow's representative accused the U.S. of engaging in biological weapons projects in Ukraine.
Don't care. Who cares?
I don't.
Don't care.
This morning, Russia is once again attempting to use this council to launder its disinformation, spread its propaganda, and justify its unprovoked and brutal attack on Ukraine. A joint statement by the U.S., Albania, France, Ireland, Norway, and United Kingdom said. Albania? They're not into it. Gotta drag Albania into it. We know this because it's a well-worn playbook. Just 1 week ago, they convened the council under precisely the same pretenses, and we heard a litany of bombastic and preposterous lies. Bombastic.
I don't know, man. Whenever they start saying that somebody's lying, I don't really, just lies.
Liars calling liars.
Yeah, the
lying.
United States and its allies on Friday. You're very black-pilled today.
I don't think I'm
Like, what's the
black-pilled.
point of all this shit? Fuck everything. It's like, I don't know. Why talk about it? I mean,
All right, show's over.
Yeah. They use the UN Security Council to launder disinformation and conspiracy theories as Moscow's representative. Now, what?
They're telling their side of the story. We tell our side of the story. This is how this works.
The Moscow's representative accused the U.S. of engaging in biological weapons projects in Ukraine. Now, they admitted at first they denied that there was any biolabs there at all.
Yeah, I remember that.
Then they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, okay, they're there." Right? Why wouldn't they be lying about the weapons part? They've been lying to us. The government's been lying to us so solidly that why should we believe anything that they say about? And of course, that's when this shit starts to come up with Fauci again. He's been gone, and now the biolab stuff, and now they're talking about this shit. They want this in there the same day.
I mean, it's just we know it's
Launder disinformation.
laundered disinformation. Can't get away.
Spread its propaganda and justify its unprovoked and brutal attack on Ukraine. So yeah, I still am rooting for Putin here. I mean, like if he's going over there to like get rid of some fucking biolabs, or call attention to them, or
Right.
whatever the fuck he's trying to do.
Things that we started, we stuck our nose in another country's business.
I don't think Russia gives a fuck about fucking with us that hard anymore. I don't think that they think they have any realistic fucking ability to, like, I think Putin has a larger war at this point with the globalists.
It's they're a regional power. They know they're a regional power now. Like,
it's not the USSR anymore.
Yeah, exactly. You hit it on the head.
Yeah, so the claims are designed for one purpose, according to the statement that was jointly signed by the U.S. and Albania and others, to deflect responsibility for Russia's war of choice and the humanitarian catastrophe it caused. Catastrophe sounds like a type of fucking punctuation.
Didn't we read that?
Catastrophe S.
How many people were killed in Ukraine so far? Like, it was like 700?
700 some odd people.
700 something people. And the media is making it out to be like thousands upon thousands upon thousands.
Tens
of
of thousands.
Yeah. Like,
mostly women and children.
Yeah, they're being massacred.
Burned alive in
on
hospitals
on purpose,
and in schools. Yeah. Well, a Russian ambassador there, Vasily Nebrensia, accused the U.S. of helping the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense to create components for the biological weapons to the tune of $32 million funded by the Pentagon.
I mean,
yeah,
we had CIA there. I mean, well, why not this too?
I mean, yeah, they wouldn't even tell us what's on the fucking laptop. The guy was over there doing fucking energy, working on. He's on the board of an energy fucking, the board of an energy company.
Burisma and who knows who else.
Yeah, I mean, they've been cutting up all kinds of fucking profits. It's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
10% to the big guy. So the scale of casualties, including among the population of European countries, is hard to imagine. Coronavirus would be nothing compared with this. It's like he was saying is that he says there's more proof that at the center of Eastern Europe, right until the very last minute, there was a dangerous military and biological activity. There was a very dangerous military and biological activity being carried out, the consequences of which, at any time, could spread beyond the country, even into the region. So that's basically what Tulsi Gabbard says, and they call her she's fucking carrying Putin's water and everything.
Yeah, pro-Moscow, pro-Russia, whatever they decide to use for that day.
It's ridiculous, man. The red baiting going on.
Let's see, hold on. The last paragraph. She also highlighted the death toll as a result of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which the UN Human Rights Office says stands at 780 dead, including 58 children. There have been 2,032 casualties recorded so far. So I guess that's on
casualties means injuries and everything.
Okay, yeah, all right.
I guess.
But Nakamishu said the actual number is believed to be much higher. Why would they say that when there's 780?
I don't know.
And this was the scene overnight, Bill. Just absolutely tragic.
Yeah, she gave us a pretty good description as to what's happening there with daylight. They were mentioned a moment ago. It's mid-afternoon now, and so here's the country, and really a focus here on the western part of the country. And this is Lviv. This
Man,
is
I hope shit's not fucked up in Belarus.
It appeared to be some sort of airport hangar there, and you can see why Putin would go after it because of either aircraft being stored there or maybe additional munitions coming in from NATO countries to the United States. This is about a week ago. This is right near the border here, that training center where dozens of people were killed last weekend. So Lviv continues to be a target. Cruise missile attacks largely launched from the Black Sea, which is well to the south down below here. In the eastern part of the country, this is an awful...
Boring.
Yeah.
War coverage,
Boo.
So President Biden has a word for this kind of talk. Malarkey. She said, this is U.S. Ambassador Linda Thomas Greenfield accused Nebrensia of repeating, quote, things that sound like they were forwarded to him in a chain email on a dark corner of the internet. President Biden has a word for this kind of talk, malarkey. You know what? That's not convincing.
Malarkey is your answer to that. There are biolabs, but here's the thing, Pat. The biolabs weren't owned by the U.S. government. We were just funding them. Therefore, they weren't U.S. biolabs. You understand how that works? That's how it works, right? So they're not ours. So we're just funding them. We're just paying everything for them.
Right. So that's yeah.
The CIA was there just to help out the Ukrainians after, Crimea got invaded or whatever you want to call it.
Advising, consulting.
Just advising and consulting. They weren't training the military there or anything like that. Craziness.
Well, the CIA has never been involved in anything, Shay.
Oh, no.
What do you... I mean, there was a lot of drug business that people thought the CIA might have been up to in the 80s and the 90s.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Before that, I'm sure, with heroin and I suppose cocaine.
What was that? The Sandinistas?
Iran-Contra.
Iran-Contra.
Yeah, that happened.
Whoops.
But that had something to do with the CIA. I think that's why Bush was president for that 4 years, to just kind of clean up all that business, you know what I mean? Make sure that was all okay. Before they brought in the new Don't Stop Thinking About Tomorrow administration of Bill Clinton. And boom years in the 90s, you know, people were just they were just, it's funny. They're like, people need to forget about this shit. How about a big economy? That would be good, right? Let's let the economy just soar for a while.
I mean, inflation is at what, like 10% or something ridiculous? Between 7 and 10%.
Yeah, where's our big fucking boom?
Well, we got $1,400, so that covers the inflation, right? Is that how that works?
Who got $1,400?
You didn't get $1,400? I got.
Good for you. You get more government money
No.
than any fucking welfare mother
They just
I
keep
have ever
sending.
heard
I
of.
don't ask for it.
Yes, you do.
I never ask.
You
for
have
it.
to fill out a form,
No,
you liar.
They like my taxes,
Yeah.
and that's how they know. And they
More than that. She said that Ukraine has public health facilities proudly supported and recognized by the U.S. government. Proudly. Public health facilities is what they are. Public health.
where
they develop
like
weapons that will affect your health, right? Yeah. The World Health Organization and other governments and international institutions. Okay, so she noted that Russia has a pattern of accusing other countries of doing what it itself is planning to do.
Okay.
The Democrat Party has a way of doing that as well.
Yeah,
and the Democrat Party, though, is not the root of the problem. It's the Democrat Party is just the political wing of this whole thing.
Right.
And then the media is the propaganda wing, and then Antifa, BLM is the military wing. And now the military is the military wing, apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
So, I mean, like, that kind of projection is like, I can't... This is projection of projection. They just accuse people. No, that's what you do.
Yeah. And this is another one of those things where I just hate being. I know you're lying to me. You're skewing the information, and now you're saying Putin's going to use chemical weapons when we definitely know biolabs that were funded by U.S. money were there. Like, we know that. That's a fact.
Yeah.
There's no studies. We know they were there.
They had to do some studies, I bet.
Yeah, a lot of studies on the biolabs.
You just hate the word studies.
Yeah.
You grow impatient with it because studies sometimes have things in them that are, they read the information a certain way. You don't like them being manipulated. I don't either.
You're right. I get it's annoying.
But don't just throw the baby out with the bathwater. Sometimes studies tell a good bit of information that it's not bad to know. Now we continue.
I'm
to
being
believe,
hyperbolic, but it's
I know.
Annoying.
We continue to believe that it is possible that Russia may be planning on using chemical or biological weapons against the Ukrainian people. We are not going to dignify Russia's disinformation or conspiracy theories. See, they won't dignify it.
No, but they'll...
Well, why don't you respond to it accurately? No, we're not. That would be dignifying it.
Yes.
We'll continue to sound the alarm and tell the world where we think Russia is heading. Wow, we're just going to keep making accusations. We're not going to dignify. Wow.
This is crazy.
Russia's accusation of what? Let's see what they said. What was Russia's big accusation that they won't dignify? Russian ambassador accused the U.S. of helping the Ukrainian Ministry of Defense to create components for the biological weapons to the tune of $32 million.
It was only $31 million. That's where they really got it.
So they won't dignify this $32 million remark.
It was only $31 million. Oh, 31.5. Okay.
So all these countries got together and say this is we're just finally starting to kind of penetrate this article a little bit. That it's the United States and his allies accused Russia of using the UN Security Council to get misinformation out. So they go to the Security Council, they give information to the UN as they're supposed to do.
Right, that's what they do.
I mean, like you go, you have a problem. You go, listen, I have a bit of a thing to report.
Right.
This is what I think is happening. Or they, whatever it is they do, they'll launder their disinformation, meaning, I guess, to, give it another source besides just them saying it. So they and the UN Security Council, I wonder what they would say about all this. Well, they were dismissed. The UN's High Representative for Disarmament Affairs. That's Izumi Nakamitsu.
Okay.
Izumi Nakamitsu says she told the council that the UN is not aware of any such biological weapons programs.
Sure.
Not aware of them. What does awareness mean exactly?
Well, she doesn't know, but maybe someone else does.
So then they mentioned the body count.
Oh yeah.
And
it keeps going up. It's every new article we open up.
Linda Thomas Greenfield says, malarkey.
Malarkey.
We're not going to. We continue to believe it's possible Russia could be doing this. What are we talking about here? Albania's representative said non-existent chemical weapons programs in Ukraine, developed in non-existent laboratories. Well, they exist.
Oh yeah.
And financed by non-existent programs. Russian claims remain unverified, unsubstantiated, uncorroborated, and not independently verified. In a word, not credible. Yeah, I mean, if everybody's piling on and like even fucking we know it's true, but we're
even
not
Albania got them all up in an uproar.
Not credible, he says. The UK was similarly blunt, calling the Russian claims nonsense.
Nonsense.
That's just nonsense.
Rubbish.
It's just balderdash. Today's charade is not really worthy of a permanent member of the UN Security Council. Ambassador Barbara Woodward said this. The only thing the Council needs to hear from the Russian Federation is that the Russian troops are leaving Ukraine.
Okay.
That's all they need to hear.
That's it. They just want to know.
They
when
want
it's
to
over.
hear nothing else. You shut up until you're leaving.
I would love if this war would end because I could just stop hearing about it.
It's not going to end.
I have
this is
friends
what it's
there in Ukraine, and it's annoying because I have to text them once a week. How's your family doing? Are they doing okay?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's
I try
annoying.
to be nice. I
want one text a week to find out how your family is doing and your friend's family is doing in Ukraine. That's terrible, Ian. Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. But no, I find out like okay, yeah, we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but right now they're fine. Like I just don't want to. I just don't want to think.
Text back tomorrow,
I just don't
please.
want people to think that we're being pro-Russia or I'm being pro-Russia or anything.
I am. I'm being
pro-Russia.
pro-Russia.
You're 100%.
I don't believe the countries aligned with the U.S. I don't believe I don't trust the Western fucking.
Yeah.
They're trying to ruin the West.
I just don't want my friends to get hurt.
I can't put my faith in that. Nobody does. Nobody wants to see anybody get hurt. There's a few people I'd like to see get hurt, but not over there.
Not your friends.
Not anybody in Ukraine. I have no issue with any, except maybe if Soros.
And the people that I know, they're very nice people. They're church people, priests and whatnot.
I don't care.
Yeah,
like they're just. It just doesn't make any sense that they are all telling the truth now when these are the same conglomeration of motherfuckers that's lied to us over and over and over again.
I agree. I just don't want my friends to get hurt. That's it. That's what it comes down to. I wish this fucking shit would end. Well, I know we stuck our noses in Ukraine's and Russia's business. We were playing around in their backyard, and Russia's going, fuck that.
NATO, you're talking about.
Or NATO, yeah. NATO, us.
And Biden saying, like, yeah, sure. I think that Ukraine should join NATO, maybe. We support your right to apply for that. That's when the troops started to amass. Mm-hmm. Biden set this whole thing in motion. This is a war of their own creation.
Yeah.
And it does do an awful lot to cover up a lot of other things, because now they can blame everything on this. Well, it's Putin's fault. They need a fall guy at all times because, Biden is going to fuck shit up.
Well, they are blaming the gas prices on Putin.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, like they're out there saying this is Putin's fault. When, again, with the gasoline, when we know that the gas was going up before this. Like, I saw it with my eyes every day, $3.20, $3.50, $3.60. Stop.
Yeah, started with they got rid of the pipeline right away, and they say it has got nothing to do with it, but we know it does.
Yeah.
And besides all that, it's look at this. Besides all that, it's not just it's the inflation,
Right.
It's the gasoline prices, which is the inflation, but it's more. It's going to be food that becomes scarce. It's going to be we can't get the fertilizer anymore. We're going to completely get rid of any kind of leadership role that we ever had, in the world. Nobody's going to trust or believe anything we have to say anymore.
China seems like the mature one in the room.
They are. They're doing a better job. They're projecting more of a fucking, sense of like, I hate to say it. I mean, like, I'm not. I hate the fucking Chinese,
Say it.
as a country and everything like that. But I mean, like, we got the wrong leadership, and it's really making the country look bad and be bad. And since COVID, I just don't have the same kind of, like, I don't want to say patriotism, because, like, what America's about and all that shit is very different from what's happening now. So, like,
well, under Trump, Putin wouldn't have been able to use accusation of Ukraine joining NATO, because Trump was not about that happening. So if Trump is president right now and he was against Ukraine and NATO, this wouldn't fucking be happening.
Yeah, he wasn't about having a war over there.
Yeah.
He had nothing to cover up.
Yeah, no Burisma. Yeah,
yeah, no Burisma, no. And as far as biolabs go, I know those didn't get set up overnight.
Years.
But I mean,
Since
I don't think
Obama.
that's something that Trump was involved in. He wasn't trying to develop any biochemical weapons. I'm sure it was presented to him in a certain way, or not presented to him. I mean, I don't know what they would have told him about it. The CIA, man, is behind a great deal of this.
Yeah, I mean, they sent in, from a report I read, like CIA top of the line special operations that were experienced in Afghanistan to go to teach Ukrainian military counterinsurgency. So taking what we learned 20 years in Afghanistan and putting that into the head of the Ukrainians. That's what the CIA. That's what I read.
Recipe
on the report.
for victory.
Yeah.
What did I and when people talk about like how long is this shit going to go on and what's the ultimate outcome, what's the desired outcome for the elites and stuff?
Yeah.
I think as long as it can go, they want it to go as long as it can go. I think they want it to drag out as long as it can, because it's all it does is give them excuses.
Yeah.
And fall guy, and it gives them the ability to artificially shrink or whatever with the economy. I mean, like, they want us to. It seems like they want to be in control of it. They want to be able to give us just enough to and then. It's all this gradual leveling down of the standard of living and stuff.
Next, what they have to do is raise interest rates, unless they want a complete collapse. So now they're going to blame what's going to happen in a couple months. The interest rates going up, they're going to blame it on Putin. So they really, like you said, they really want this to drag on, so they have other things to blame
forever and ever. Yeah. Well, I mean, and down to the U.S. dollar not being the currency. It's going to happen. It's going to happen.
I read 2040. We will no longer be the reserve currency. We have a lot of special privileges because of that.
I think it's going to be a lot sooner than
you
that.
Think so?
I do. Right. I think they're trying to hasten it because they have all their investments in China, all these elites, all these fucking motherfuckers, people in the U.S. government, all these people. They've got their money. They've bet it in the right place. They want to affect the outcome as quickly as possible and make sure that we don't accidentally elect Trump again to turn the fucking ship around. I mean, like, that's what they're ensuring against.
You think they're going to fortify the 2024 election?
I think that they're going to fortify the state of the U.S. government to a point where even if they don't properly fortify the election, it would take 4 years to undo all this fucking shit.
Oh, they're going to fuck with the election so bad.
They're going to fuck with the country so bad that it's going to be just putting out fires for 4 years. 4 years worth of putting out fires.
Right. You thought 2000 was bad. Wait for 2024.
Well, election-wise, it could be very well be fortified in the same way, I think, with more pandemic bullshit and whatever they need, right?
They need to keep it going.
Whatever they need.
And, all that.
But what I'm saying is that the economy is going to be so fucked up. And they're gonna pass, or they're gonna have so many things running in the wrong direction,
right?
That if Trump got elected in 2024, he would have to be going, what the,
Yeah, how am I gonna do this?
He's just gonna be playing defense, and putting out fires forever.
And that's pretty much what he did for 4 years,
From 16 to 20.
16 to 20. He was on the defense all the time, nonstop. He was on defense.
Yeah. Constantly, they had him on his heels. With the impeachment. I mean, give me a break.
Remember when they made him take the mental health clarity test, and the doctor went on TV to say that Trump, the White House doctor, went on TV to say Trump is fine mentally. Like, they forced him in. But Biden, who's way older, no mental test.
Yeah,
no mental test.
It really shows that the power of the presidency is really contingent on which party they're in.
Yes.
a Republican president just is not as powerful as a Democrat president. What can't be. They if people are not going to go in the direction you want them to go and do the things that you want them to do in a timely way, and that extends not only to the bureaucrats that are like fucking, the ones pushing the pencils, making shit get done or not done.
Right.
Oh, wait, if you only would have got this in 25 minutes, whatever. Down to details like that, maybe, or just like, I'm not sure it's possible to do that to the fucking judicial, motherfuckers, the judges, in the appellate courts going like, nope. Some fucker in Seattle files something, and then the whole country is like
injunction,
nope. and that puts that law on hold.
Well, look with Biden's executive order with the companies of over 100 employees need to get the vaccine. The
executive order.
It was executive order, and if that was Trump, the next day it would have been stopped.
Yeah,
but it took months, right? For the
went
Supreme Court.
all the way to the Supreme Court. Yeah, had to go all the way to the Supreme Court. Couldn't just be some appellate judge going like, nope.
This is obviously unconstitutional.
Or an appellate court. I guess not one judge, but, it would be an appellate court because they're all fucking, Look, what can you say? Hyman Roth played this one beautiful. It got us in a bad position because it's like they got all the bases covered. And I don't know when the fuck that happened, but there's been some Republicans that have colluded in that a little bit as well.
Sure.
Like your congressional motherfuckers, of course. And then,
Cheney.
President Bush, what the fuck did he ever do? I mean, he must have done something that wasn't horrible, but I mean, he also it seemed like there's not that big of a difference between what Obama was doing and what George Bush was doing, except that it changed. Obama kicked into high gear the whole social justice aspect of it.
Yeah, he really put the pedal to the metal.
And Bush right away, right after 9/11, don't go hitting Muslims. A Muslim woman shouldn't have to worry just because the buildings blew up and everything. It's not their fault. They're not all violent. The Muslims are good people. We weren't going to fucking hit them.
Yeah.
We weren't going to attack them. The vast majority of the people is just treating us all like pre-hate criminals. That has a bad effect on the United States. I don't know. Would you call it morale?
Yeah. Well, the media has created this image of the country and what they want to project as the image of the country. I brought up to you earlier. There's this poll that was done by YouGov.
Polls. Sick of polls.
I'm sick of polls.
Sick of polls.
At least you're asking people.
Well,
scientists. I don't like scientists.
I know they do scientific things that we don't quite understand all the time.
Okay, so it's a YouGov America poll about Americans overestimate the size of minority groups and underestimate the size of most majority groups.
Yeah. Why would that be? Because the media is constantly talking about them?
Yeah, so have a household income of over $1 million. The estimated proportion is 20%. So 1/5 of the Americans are millionaires, when in actuality it's 0%.
Zero?
Yeah, apparently it's like
there are no millionaires.
0.2, so they round down.
Oh, okay.
Are transgender? Well, the American public
that's
thinks
50. Got to be 50%.
No, 21%. They say, 1/5.
21% are transgender, they think.
Yeah, when it's really only 1%.
I think there's more millionaires than there are trannies.
Are Native American? 27% when it's really 1%.
They think that there's 27% are Native Americans.
Millions of Indians running around. Live in New York City. They think it's 30% of the population lives in New York City.
That's Manhattan answered that.
When it's really 3% are gay or lesbian.
3% for New York.
Well, 3% normal for the country. It's 30%.
No. What did you say?
3% actually of the country actually lives in New York City.
3%. Wow, yeah, that's a lot.
A lot of people. Are atheists? The American public thinks it's 33%, when in actuality it is 3%.
3%.
Yeah, not as many atheists as they think. Are bisexual? The American public thinks it's 29%.
That's a lot of crossover with the atheists, too, I'll tell you right now.
4% with the atheists. Those gay atheists.
There's 4% gay. 4% is gay?
That's bisexual.
Oh, bisexual. Okay, gay would be higher.
Live in are left-handed.
But gays include you. Gays, you got to include the bi too.
I'm trying to say, are gay or lesbian? 30%, they think.
30%.
When it's really 3%.
Good God.
People are stupid.
3%. Did you say 4%'s bi and 3% are gay?
So that's 7.
Yeah, that's. Why don't we just go 7% gay?
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah.
6.5 at least.
No way. Are vegan or vegetarian?
You know,
The
that includes the buy. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The 3 plus the 4, 7.
It's all included.
Yeah. Vegetarian.
5% when it's really no, sorry. They think it's 30% when it's really 5%. 5%.
So
of
the country thinks that we have 30% vegetarian, atheist.
Yeah, trannies.
Tell me more. Tell me more. It's fascinating. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't get tired of it.
Okay. Are black 41%. Half the country is black almost.
Seems like that sometimes.
Right. Well, you look at the media when in reality it's 12%.
Only 12%.
Only 12%. That's not what I see at basketball games or football games. Maybe hockey. Hockey might be the most accurate.
They must have thought 41% because it's like when you see commercials and stuff like that, it feels like about 41% have to be black, right? It's not just 12.
I think it's even on the commercials.
It's 80%.
It's like, it's even more than that. So it's like.
I mean, if you look realistically, there's a lot of white people in commercials still. I mean, just I know the brands you're talking. I mean, I know this. I know. I believe me. I'm with you. Keep going.
Okay. All right.
This is fast. Don't you people find this fascinating?
Have an advanced degree. People think 37% of people have an advanced degree. Well, it's only 12%. So
that's more than I would have thought.
Our first generation immigrants, 33%. When in reality, it's 14%, which is too many. Should be 0%, but that's just me.
0.
Yeah.
I'm fine with immigration. It's legal.
Are Hispanic. There's only 17%, but the American public thinks it's 39%. So we got 40% black, 40% Hispanic. That means 20% white, right?
Yeah, exactly. 20% white. And we're the majority, right?
Yeah.
They're minorities.
Oh, yeah. Are Democrats. People think it's 51% when it's actually 42%.
If that.
Are Catholic. 41% people think when it's really 22%, which I thought that was a pretty high number, to be honest with you.
22% Catholic is a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. A lot of Catholics.
A lot of Protestants. That means that let's see, 42%, somewhere under 68% Protestant. There's some Jews in there, but not very many. And not a lot of Hindus, Buddhists, all that kind of shit.
Are Jewish.
So that means at least 50% Protestant.
Yeah, definitely.
Take that.
And there's only 3 or 4% atheist.
Yeah, they don't factor. So at least 50% Protestant and white.
Let's see. They were kind of right on this one. Have a household income over $100,000. The American public believes it's 38%, when in reality it's 34%. So.
Okay. Well, that's close.
Own a gun. Americans think 54% of Americans own guns.
Way more than that.
It's reality it's 32%.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought more.
So a third of
because a lot of Americans like guns.
They just have multiple guns. The ones that really like them have 35 guns.
Oh, some people have a lot of guns. I personally, I'm all for guns. Don't own one. I mean, I own one, but it's not in my possession. I had to leave it.
I don't say anything about guns in public.
Fine with. I see.
Leave it at that. Let's see here. I think that's it.
All right.
I'll have at least a college degree. The American people think 47%, when in reality it's 33%.
That's not that dramatic. Well, that's still amazing about the minority stuff, especially.
Then that's what the media is painting. You're saying the different arms of the elites.
Yeah.
The media is one of them. And this is what the media is painting for the elite. Yep.
Yes. Yes. No, it's all very true. All right. That's the Patriarchy Show. You guys take care. What do we want them to do? We have some action to ask for, I'm sure.
Follow Twitter at Show Patriarchy. Follow you at Pat Dixon. And
I'm a good follow.
Yeah, subscribe and like, guys.
All right. Don't smash that like
Smash
button.
the like button.